is, that's so hard to do. But the goal is definitely Super Bowl. That's the mindset we have, and we're going to put in the work to be able to hopefully get there.
Wisconsin Badgers football released the times for their first 3 games of the season this morning as well. The opener against Miami of Ohio will be Thursday night at 8 p.m. on the Big Ten Network. Week 2 will be 3 p.m. on FS1. And Week 3 at Alabama will be an 11 a.m. kick, nationally televised on either ABC or ESPN.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or visit metrokiaofmadison.com.
Everybody's ego takes a shot on this show.
You gotta keep your chill with Jim, Matt, and Molly.
I am savage.
So you're not special.
Jim, if we want to play this game, we can play this game.
And I'm just like, oh my God, this guy's going to swing on Jim. He's a complicated fellow. Oh.
People like me.
I don't think so.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Madison on YouTube.
We're learning a lot about each other. Jim's an onion. You got to peel back the layers to get to the good parts.
I came in and I gave myself a buzz cut. It actually looks more shaved in the horrible lighting in the Everlight Solar Studio. I went buzz cut, the one, I would say, on the trimmer, but it looks like I'm bald. It's wild, the lighting in here. Like, this is wild. Like, on there.
And for me, remember, the camera also adds 10 pounds. It takes hair away from Jim and it adds 10 pounds.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio in downtown Madison. Alongside Matt Hamilton and Molly Brown, here's Jim Rutledge.
It is Jim, Matt, and Molly. We are presented by Coors Light. If the mountains are blue, you know what to do.
And that's crush a Coors Light.
I do have the power. I am Jim Rutledge in the Everlight Solar Studio alongside Molly Brown and Matt Hamilton. Primetime Laura shine behind the glass. Matt and I got the memo to be dressed bright and sunny today. Molly, you are wearing clothes.
Like the sky.
You look like yesterday. Today's a little sunny. At least when I got dressed, it did get darker, but
You look like yesterday.
dreary.
What does that mean?
It's not the same clothes as yesterday.
You look like the weather yesterday. Dreary.
Was the weather dreary yesterday? Okay,
If you
I don't
consider
remember.
raining all day dreary.
Rainy.
But I kind of love that weather, though.
No.
Obviously.
I mean,
Just your vibe today.
gray.
You can get into the show, 844-770-3776. That's the Carbos Talking text line. List is more. You can see us on the ESPN Madison YouTube stream. You can stream us with the ESPN Wisconsin app. And, nope, it's weird. We didn't have, like, a Brewers game before. I feel like we've always had, like, Brewers games before we've been on recently. But
Do they play today?
they're off.
Wow.
According to our show sheet here. They are
They are
off today.
off. They got the game against the Phillies tomorrow, 5:45 p.m. first pitch, which means pregame starts at 5:09 while we're on remote at Oakstone.
At Oakstone. Oakstone's a fun place. Indoor volleyball. Matt hasn't been there before.
Shocking.
It's also shocking when you roll up on it. You're like, oh, this place is huge, and it's like a sneaky, awesome sports bar. So
I'm excited.
Yeah, we'll be doing a show there, and then we'll do a little watch along. By we, the watch along part of it. My daughter's got something. She got a big recital coming up this weekend, so she's got like an extra practice. So I'm going to leave at the start of the watch along. But that's fine because you guys are the Brewer fans anyways. You don't want me out there talking about the third place Milwaukee Brewers.
Can't wait for me and Matt to be talking Brewers.
Yeah. A lot of war talk, Mendoza line, ducks on a pond, can of corn.
Gonna crush.
All the good ones.
Maybe we should do that at some point, Ryan, for our next minute to win it. Obscure baseball terms that I haven't used on the show yet, though. But like,
You used salami yesterday.
yeah.
Salami?
Grand salami.
Oh, grand
Good,
salami.
good memory.
Yeah.
You're like a proud mom.
It's like a
Yeah.
day too
Well,
late.
'cause I didn't remember that.
She's impressed.
Like a 4-year-old. Wow. Good job.
I'll take it. That's the kind of praise I want. So thank you, Mom.
I don't remember.
So it is funny, like my youngest, we pull up north and south a couple weeks ago when my parents were in town. And she's like, remember when you had that crack in your windshield? I'm like, nah, I didn't have a crack in my windshield. And she's like, yeah, you did. And my big blue truck from Simden, when I first got it, they were getting it all detailed and ready to go. And they're like, hey, there's like a tiny little pebble chip in this thing. You're fine to drive. But in like a couple days, we'll come pick it up. We'll drive it back out to Mount Horeb. We'll change out your windshield, and then you can have your truck back. We just don't want to. We don't want you to have anything that's imperfect on the truck when you get it right away. And I completely forgot about it. but my youngest remembered it. And actually, Matt, to that point, you and I golfed because the day they did it, we golfed at U Ridge, and that's how nice Tim and Chevy was.
Oh, that's
about
right.
it.
They dropped the car off.
Yeah,
I remember this because then
now
I
that's
went.
a good buying experience.
You know what? This is weird. Okay, because I went out to go test our equipment for a broadcast that we were doing out at U Ridge the day that you guys were there. And I remember I didn't see Jim's truck because he was driving a different truck. And then it's weird.
It was like something small. It wasn't a truck, yeah.
And then it's weird because I'm going out there tomorrow because Wilde and Tausch are out at U Ridge tomorrow. So it's just the world is just all connecting.
Jason Wilde is joining this show a little bit later, so I want to get into Packers talk to get rolling here. And we're going to hear from Jordan Love to get things started. And we'll start with his talk because the Packers had voluntary OTAs, and he spoke after them yesterday. And we're going to work through some of these things here, but I want to talk a little bit about his thoughts on leadership and how to balance being a more outgoing leader and not losing his overall personality. So let's hear Jordan Love.
Yeah, I mean, I think at the end of the day, with leadership and speaking vocally to guys, it's always, you got to be yourself. You never want to be forcing things or sound like a message isn't coming from you. It's coming from somebody else. So it's always trying to find that balance of being yourself. But I think the biggest thing is just having those hard conversations with guys when, something needs to get done and it might not be getting done the right way or might not be handling business the right way, is just having those hard conversations and not just calling guys out, but just having those conversations with them aside, being that type of leadership. I think I get along with all these guys. I can speak to them very well. That's never been a problem. I think it's holding people accountable with everything we do.
And I don't disagree with what he's saying. And I get there's a push here from Coach LaFleur, and we'll get some more audio as the show goes along. We're debuting a segment for real or phony next, and we'll play some more audio in there and kind of figure out if they're being for real or if they're being phony.
You're a phony!
But the phony part applies to this.
It's from Family Guy.
So I was wondering what that was, too.
Yeah, I immediately, when we came up with this idea, I sent him that clip, and he's like, already got it.
You're a
So both of
phony!
us watch too much television, I think.
So,
Really?
Same wavelength.
to Jordan Love, the bigger thing for me, and I'm not saying he can't be a more vocal leader, but he cannot change who he is. Because for me, leaders who fail, coaches that fail, managers that fail, whatever walk of life you're in, is the best thing they can be is authentic. And if you start trying to be, and I'm not saying Jordan Love's doing this, if you start trying to be in the rah-rah, all of a sudden I'm more outgoing, I'm more vocal guy, like, that's going to fail. Now, if Jordan Love just wants to be intentional and go from like a guy who's like a 2 or 3 as a vocal leader to like a 5, because he's just going to try to be more intentional and try to meet people where they are in like one-on-one situations, I think that will succeed. If they're looking for him to be we're in the huddle and I'm going to get everyone fired up and we're going to get rolling, or on the sidelines I'm going to give some fiery speech, I think that's going to fail dramatically. So I think Jordan Love has to walk the line of being authentic, because to me, for a leader, the most important thing you need to be is authentic. Mm-hmm. You don't have to be like Bill Belichick. I couldn't imagine him ever giving some rah-rah vocal leader speech, but he is successful because he's authentic and holds everyone to the same standards. So for me, for being a leader, it's about being authentic and holding everyone to the same standards. You never hear it, because vocal leadership is nice. You never hear anyone say, you know what, I want the vocal leader not to be vocal. Because you can't get them to do that. Like, yes, everyone would love the perfect rah-rah vocal leader, but not everyone is that. There are plenty of great coaches and plenty of great football players who are not the inspirational leaders with their words. It's more of their actions. And in my experience, whether it's in sports or talking to athletes, covering teams, and then just in real life, authentic and fair are the 2 most important things for being a leader, which I think Jordan Love is on both those things. So I think he just needs to be careful to continue to stay true to himself while trying to be a little bit more vocal.
So
that's my guy right there.
What does that look like this season? Like, because if this was Matt LaFleur's, I guess, I don't know, mission for Jordan Love to try to get better at this season, like, what was he doing before? When guys were dropping balls, was he just not saying anything? Like, was he telling them, hey, you need to fix this? Like, you need to be better? Because to me, that is being a leader, is telling somebody, like, we want to accomplish the same goal. We want to win. So you need to be better. I need to be better. Like, taking accountability for it as well. But, like, what was he doing last year that, I guess, made Matt LaFleur, I don't know if get fed up enough is the right word, but, like, just start thinking, hey, you do need to be a better leader. Like, what was Jordan Love doing for leadership last year versus what's going to be different in this upcoming season is my question.
So Josh Jacobs did also speak at the OTAs yesterday, and he talked a little about some of the leadership that he's seen from Jordan Love this offseason and a little bit compared to what he saw last season.
Matt challenged Jordan after the season to be more of a vocal leader.
Yeah.
Does he seem any?
He already doing it. He already doing it.
In what ways are you seeing that? Because he also still has to be true to himself.
Yeah.
And the way he is.
Yeah, I think Jordan. I think he's comfortable. You know, like, and what I mean by that is like he understands this offense in and out. He understands defenses. So now he's at the point where he can just play and really be who he is. But he definitely has been more vocal, whether it's at practice or even in the meetings, man. If he sees something he don't like, he's speaking up. And, you know, that's something me and him also talked about, you know, just about being the guy. You know, you the quarterback. You got to be that guy. And I'm not saying that he's not that guy because he definitely is, but just on a more vocal level. But he's definitely stepped up a lot this year. I've definitely seen a big change in that.
Which I think is good, and it sounds like hearing from Josh Jacobs there, because that's Wilde asking the question, that so far Jordan Love is walking the line of being more vocal, which is just maybe be more comfortable to, like, in a setting, because again, how do you define vocal leadership? It sounds like maybe last year when Reed, like at practice, if you are not, even at the NFL level, if you let little things go at practice, players start to kind of just get a little bit lazy, and the coaches can do so much. And it's not an indictment of the Packers. That's every team. That's every level. And so if you have
every sport,
yeah, and you can have a coach say stuff, but if you have a player go up and he doesn't need to be just demonstrative or yell, because then that would be phony. That's not really who Jordan is. But if you know, when they come back to the huddle, hey, don't do that again, or hey, we're going to rerun this. We're going to run this play again. Like, those sorts of things are, I think, that balance that Jordan could get that maybe he wasn't doing last year, of he was relying on the coaches to step up and speak as opposed to him stepping up and speak. But I think if the Packers, and I don't think they are, but if fans are expecting him to turn into you know, the movie quarterback where he's just inspiring the world with his words, that ain't going to happen. But I think they can expect him to try to hold more people accountable with his words than maybe he wasn't doing last year.
Yeah, I will say it is refreshing to hear that from Josh Jacobs, because for me, Jordan Love is going to be a passive vocal leader, right? Like, you're not going to see it in the spotlight in the big moments, but he seems like a kind of guy who's going to be working in behind the scenes. Seems like more his style, something that he would be comfortable with. And again, I don't want him to change who he is, because to change who you are and to still perform at a high level, it's a lot. It's a big task. So how you are in your everyday life, you want to keep that same mentality going into your work life, because that's how you're going to perform your best, because it's natural for him. Now, what I think, and what, based on that audio and what I hear, is in that Josh Jacobs references they were in meetings and Jordan Love's speaking up. I'm sure for the last 2 years, Jordan Love has maybe heard things in meetings that he didn't 100% agree with or wanted to clarify to everybody, and he might have just sat back and let the coaches do the things. Now, that thought isn't new. It's still going through his head, but now he has the confidence and the support of probably the most vocal leader on the team, and Josh Jacobs, saying, get out there and say something. Like, if you think it, say it, because your word carries a lot of weight. And I think Jordan Love is, one, he's getting a taste for it right now if he's starting to do it, when he realizes and sees reception from the team, because he will at some point. You know, like, there is a line to toe, but for the most part, especially early, they're going to hear him. And he's going to get more comfortable in that role. And I think you got to start somewhere. So, like, there might be more of a vocal leader, even visually on the field, because Jordan might find that he can get comfortable in this role. Like, I don't have to just think too hard before I say something. If I hear something that I don't isn't quite jiving with me, I can be vocal about it. And it has to start somewhere. So, Molly, I don't know what it's going to look like, but so far, it sounds like it's starting off on a promising foot. It can go a lot of ways from
Day
here,
two.
but at least the first step is in the right direction.
Yard Possum chimes in, and that's why people get on Russell Wilson, because he sounds funny trying to be a vocal leader. And again,
Sounds like a phony.
I was going to say phony, not funny.
The worst managers,
phony!
or the only time that I like managers lose me is when they start getting outside of themselves, and like if
Yeah.
they try to do something that is not who they are, I immediately check out and be like, oh, this
It's
ain't
fake.
it. And I don't think Jordan is going to be doing that. If I'm betting on it, and the right way to do it, and I think Jordan will do it the right way, is he's going to go from like a 2 to a 5, which is going to be more of like. It sounds like, maybe to your point, Molly, maybe this is why they brought it up in the media and why he's been open to hearing it. He might have just been as quiet as a mouse in practice. And guys,
Which he gives me that vibe.
Yeah.
So, which is not fine. So he needs to go. So he might be going from inadequate to adequate. Of like, we just need you to hold your teammates accountable like they do you. Like Josh Jacobs does not come across as a demonstrative vocal leader, and I guess maybe that's the difference. I don't see a world where Jordan Love will be an effective demonstrative vocal leader, but can he be more vocal in his leadership? Absolutely. And that can be raising your hand in a meeting and backing up what Coach LaFleur says, or if the receivers are being a little sloppy with their pass catching, to bring that up in the team meeting, or pop in the receivers room and offer with his words, but also his actions, being like, hey, let's go out and throw some balls. Because in no world I think Jordan Love was a bad leader. I think from a vocal leader side of things, he was probably a 2 out of 10, and maybe he's just trying to get to a 5. But otherwise, I think he had the work ethic. I think he has like the team's respect. So I think those are all important leadership things. So to your point, if someone who's really, really quiet starts to talk just a little bit more, you will listen.
Yeah, for
And if they talk too much, you'll be like, all right, shut up. Like, I got it. But like,
For sure.
he can find that line. This is where he learns. Just like early on in his career, he'd throw interceptions in practices, like the first, some OTAs and stuff like that, because you're like, this is what you want to try to see what you can get away with. And this is what you can try to see what you get away with in the locker room as well. We're going to play Real or Phony coming up next, but Carbon World Health has got 2 locations, one in Madison, one in Sun Prairie. Both locations are fantastic. Both locations offer hormone replacement treatment. Both of them offer GLP-1s. The Sun Prairie locations both locations offer med spa treatments as well. The Madison location offers great training and weight and like a great workout facility. I just did my in-body scan there today, and it's fantastic because I've been watching it, and now for the last few months, I've been holding strong at 192 pounds, but my body fat continues to drop, and my skeletal muscle mass continues to rise. So now I'm just a lean, mean radio hosting machine, thanks to my friends at Carbon World Health. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly.
Come on, Matt. You're the fantasy football guy.
I know, but like we're pretty far removed from fantasy last year. Like,
And honestly, you're into tight ends. Like,
Oh.
I knew how that was going to sound before I said it, but I didn't mean it like.
okay.
Presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Madison on YouTube.
Ready to live the high life at home? Miller High Life is giving one lucky winner the ultimate backyard dive bar experience. It's a cabana complete with classic bar vibes, neon lights, and of course, plenty of high life. To enter, just order a Miller High Life at any participating dive bars in the Madison area and register with the link to the Miller High Life Backyard Dive Bar Giveaway. Get a ticket to Dive Bar Glory at your local watering hole, like Jerry's Place, Utica Bar, and Madison VFW 8483.
Siding Unlimited recently installed 20 brand new amazing energy efficient windows. Our Siding Unlimited crew removed the old windows, inspected the wall for wood rot, installed the new beautiful windows, and cleaned up behind ourselves. It was easy to get started. The homeowner met us at our amazing showroom on 2018 South Stoughton Road in Madison. Trust me, our showroom is a must-see. Looking for new windows, siding, roofing, and doors? Visit us at sidingunlimited.com or stop by our beautiful showroom in Madison.
Cheesy Bites Pizza is back at Pizza Hut. For only $13.99, you get a large pizza with 28 pullable, poppable, cheese-filled bites. Plus, it comes with Pizza Hut's very own Ranch Lovers Flight, featuring 3 bold dips: Ultimate Ranch, Chipotle Ranch, and Pepperoni Ranch. 1 large pizza, 3 dips, endless flavor. Ready to dip into deliciousness? Well, hurry. It's only available for a limited time. Head to a Pizza Hut location or order online at pizzahut.com today. Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
If you're looking for a special piece of jewelry for any occasion, Condon Jewelers is always there for you. Condon Jewelers has the best selection of jewelry you'll ever find and guaranteed to have the lowest prices in the Madison area. Free shipping is always available. Visit condonjeweler.com or call 241-3406 and ask for Jim, the owner, who's at the store every day. Shop locally. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
From the biggest stars to the greatest moments, Behind the Bucks is Bucks history like you've never heard it before. Go behind the scenes of the Emmy-nominated Giannis documentary. Get the real story of the blockbuster trade for Damian Lillard. Hear the origin of Bucks in 6. It's all on Behind the Bucks on the Bucks Plus audio network, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and wherever you get podcasts.
You love choices.
Like your choices with a Sweeto metal roof.
Choose standing seam or high-profile steel shingles that come in a variety of styles that last a lifetime.
Put a Sweeto metal roof on and take the worry off with choices.
I'm Mike.
And Mary Sweeto. Enjoy the long-lasting architectural strength and beauty of a Sweeto metal roof.
SWITA metalroofing.com.
Sweeto Metal Roofing, the last roof you'll ever need.
Tournament host Steve Stricker joins a star-studded group of PGA Tour champions at the American Family Insurance Championship. Catch the action June 6th through the 8th with an exciting team competition and a new tournament home at TPC, Wisconsin. This year's AmFam Champ concert features Megan Maroney with special guest Clint Black on Friday, June 6th at Breese Stevens Field. All proceeds support the Steve Stricker American Family Insurance Foundation and American Family Children's Hospital. Get your tickets today at amfamchampionship.com.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions, securing homes and businesses in the Madison area since 1987.
No sleep till!
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The brand new ESPN Wisconsin app, a customizable homepage, easier and quicker live listening, your shows at the touch of a fingertip. The ESPN Wisconsin app is available in the Apple and Android app stores. Your state, your teams, your ESPN. Download the ESPN Wisconsin app today.
She's Molly Brown. I am Jim Rutledge alongside Matt Hamilton. We're in the Everlight Solar studio. Primetime Laura Shine behind the glass. Prime's wearing a hat today. Yeah,
always wears a hat.
He had such a nice cut.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. My Matt LaFleur cut.
The LaFleur.
I mean, it is a pretty tight cut. What can I say?
It's not tight. I'm not tight.
Maybe
Matt,
you want to turn your mic on.
He's wearing the ReliaQuest bowl hat. That is a sweet hat.
It is a sweet
hat.
hat.
And that's a storied bowl game.
Yeah, who's ever going to forget that Wisconsin LSU game at the Buccaneer Stadium?
That's the one. Oh, yeah, that's the one that you went to with the pirate
Was that
ship.
the old Outback Bowl?
It is, yes. It used to be Outback Bowl.
R.I.P.
I think I went to an Outback Bowl. I can't remember.
They used to be a good bowl game.
Did you get a bloomin' onion?
That's the only. Like, I know people talked about it so much, and now I'm trying to remember if I actually went or if it was a Champs Bowl. Like, I can't remember which bowl it was. Like, I did go to an Orange Bowl and a Rose Bowl.
Wait, when you're a
That's
media
cool.
member, do you get like gifts at a bowl game?
No.
Oh,
Well, you
okay.
get the food, like
Yeah.
you get some of that.
You get free
You get
bloomin'
the
onions.
gift of going.
Well, yeah.
It's
No,
pretty
that is
sweet.
that
like,
is cool.
Being able to go to Orange Bowl and a Rose Bowl
For
for
sure.
free. Yeah, that was pretty awesome. But you can see us on the ESPN Madison YouTube stream. You can stream with the ESPN Wisconsin app. And I want to get to our poll question in a second here. We'll ask it before we get to Jason Wilde. But we're going to play a new game here called For Real or Phony. But I will say I joked the other day, but now 2 days in a row I've forgotten to wear a hat because I did buzz down. And I think maybe at a better angle today. Maybe the lights are better. I look less bald today because I
The
did
hair's
shave.
probably grown back too.
Well, that's a quick grow back. My facial hair grows quick, but I did buzz cut, not not completely bald, shave my head bald. But in the camera the first day, it looked very bald. And maybe I got some sun today, so it's a little bit less cue ball-y. But I've been wanting to wear – I have all these hats. And one of the things I'm like, well, if my head's shaved, I can wear a hat to the office. I can wear a hat in the show. But I also can be out there and be professional and just not wear a hat and do the day. And I'm upset that I forgot the hats. But Ryan's got a nice head of hair. Ryan should be wearing less hats, and I should be wearing more hats is the gist of the story.
Okay. You want to switch during the break? You want to wear my hat?
No.
Okay, good. I won't either.
That's not to you, but honestly, that is one of the grossest. Like if I put on someone else's hat, I would be so distraught.
But what do you do if you
no
buy
hair as a buffer now between your skin? Could you imagine?
But what if you buy a hat at a store? Like
you try it on.
You can't wash it.
I know, but they're trying it on for a minute. I'm saying like Ryan's sweating that hat.
No, but yeah.
And it's not.
That's fair.
We
It's not
know
specific.
how warm that booth is, right?
It is hot.
He's wearing a sweatshirt as always.
I'm not saying it's specific to Ryan. Anyone's hat.
Sure.
But it's like
Ryan is lies.
You're right.
I mean, didn't have to put it out there like that, Jim. I mean,
yeah, my bad.
But Jim doesn't want to be tied into any sort of like investigation if they find that DNA on the hat.
Right, that too.
You might wonder the Prairie Creek Hunter. It might be Jim Rutledge.
Right. Yeah, I don't want that.
Yeah, you don't want to be framed
you might
for
be
this.
next on this list. You might want to stop. All right.
Don't take that hat.
Let's get into for real or phony. Are we playing the open first and then explaining it, or am I explaining what it is?
let's get into the open first.
Okay.
Let's hear the for real or phony.
Well, look who's talking now.
You talking to me? Then who the hell else are you talking? Talking to me?
Now, are they speaking the truth
I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
or feeding us crap?
You're a phony! Hey, everybody! This guy's a great big phony!
Time to decide if it's for real or phony.
That open is for real. And you know what I like about it? It really kind of gave us a pretty good description of what we're playing here.
Exactly. Which is why, guys, this is born from the segment we had. Is it Yanni or Laurel? This is kind of the descendant of that segment. So we're going to
Our fans
ask.
will be happy that one's gone.
So what's going to happen here, guys, is that we're going to listen to some audio from, this could be for anyone, but today we're doing it with Jordan Love, and we're deciding whether or not what he's saying is authentic, a true authentic Jordan Love, or if he's being a phony.
You're a phony!
And if he's being authentic, it's Yanni, and if he's being
no.
fake, it's
No.
Laurel. Never mind.
No!
We actually skipped that part. But we already listened to Jordan Love talking about how he's changed as a leader this offseason. But one of the big question marks, especially coming out of yesterday with Jane Reed, is how is the vibes in the wide receiver room this offseason? Here's what Jordan Love had to say when asked about the vibes and the competition amongst his wide receivers.
No, I think they're doing great right now. They're all here. They've been working really hard. But I think, anytime you draft guys in your room, I think that's the nature of it, is just to feel that way. But at the end of the day, I think that's every position group every year.
Is the flash running by?
So it's one of those things that you just got to control what you can control. Come to work, handle business, be the best player you can be,
Matthew
find ways to
Golden.
get better. And at the end of the day, there's always going to be competition. So I don't think any of those guys are shying away from competition. They all want to be the best and want to be out there on the field. So, the vibes are good right now.
Yeah, guys, so that was not built in by me, the flashes of Matthew Golden running in the background. That's just the sound from Packers.com.
Damn, that guy's fast.
Have these press conferences out online.
Yeah.
But what do you guys
Distracting Matthew.
What do you guys think, other than the distraction of the background noise? What do you think of Jordan Love, how he talked about the wide receivers this offseason? Is this for real or is it phony?
You're a phony!
I'm going to tell you right now, that was boring as sin. Like, good Lord, that was just a word salad. So
It's word
He learned from the
salad.
best, Aaron Rodgers.
I'm not going to say Aaron at least had like some tone and some inflection.
Yeah, he at least talked crap about people. I'm just kidding.
The receiver room, there's a new guy, and they're gonna.
Oh, you mean the rookie room?
Yeah.
That's my
their
guy
fault.
right there.
Slow down, Matthew. What do you guys? So, I would say it's. I don't think there's a problem in the receiver room. It's way too early, but I think it's phony because I think he just threw out generic platitudes. There's nothing of substance to what he said, but with the caveat of I don't think there's actually a problem. I just don't think Jordan knows either way.
You're a phony!
So I'm going to call that one phony.
Matt, Molly?
I'm thinking a little phony. Like, who's going to be like, oh, yeah, there's definitely drama right now? It's like, Jordan's not dropping that little nugget of news on anybody.
I'm a new vocal leader. It is catty in there, fellas.
Yeah, right? So, like, Again, it might be the truth, but that was so generic, like word salad, exactly like Jim said, that it sounded phony to me. And as true as it might have been, you're a big fat phony.
Yeah, he's not doing himself any favors. Like, just share something.
I actually think that the vibes, I'm going to say phony, because I think that the vibes in that locker room are probably very weird, even though Jaden Reed tried to clear it up with the whole agent asking what his position on this team is and all that stuff. But the vibe has to be weird, because it's like you have Matthew Golden coming in.
Your highest paid guy, and he's a rookie.
Yes, first-round draft pick.
He runs so fast, he makes sound effects.
Exactly. A position that they haven't drafted in God knows how many years. What is it? Yes.
Matt
so it's
knows.
like 22 years. 22 years.
Praise
right?
be Matthew.
Yes, thank you, Matthew.
Both of you, thank you.
But no, so it's like the vibes have to be so uncomfortable, because then it's like you think about Christian Watson too. Like, he's hurt. What's his future going to look like? Romeo Doubs dipped out on the team midway through the season last year. Like, those vibes between just the wide receiving core has to be so awkward to me. It has to be. So I'm going to say phony.
All right, let's get to
Love
the
you,
next
Jordan
one.
Love, though.
You're a phony.
All right, guys, we can listen to one more before we got Jason Wilde coming up next. But Jordan Love talked about the ultimate goal for the team this offseason and every year is to win the Super Bowl.
You know, I think you talk about Super Bowl, that's the goal for us. You know, we talked about that last year, and that's the same message this year, is we're trying to win a Super Bowl. So I'm definitely trying to be that guy to be able to take this team and lead them to that. You know, I think when you talk about Aaron and what he did in his third year, you know, I never try and compare, because, you know, that's so hard to do. There's so many different situations that go on. But at the end of the day, like you said, you know, I've been here going on year 6, going on my third year playing, so you know, everything's right there in front of us and for this team. So it's just about going out there, executing. But the goal is definitely a Super Bowl. That's the mindset we have, and we're going to put in the work to be able to hopefully get there.
Two more for Jordan.
Did somebody ask the question, like prefacing it with, you know, Aaron's third year as a starter, here's what he did?
I wrote that down, because otherwise he starts to compare himself to someone else and stops himself.
And then he says, well, I'm not going to compare in Aaron's third year, but, you know, I'm not going to compare myself to somebody else's career.
Yeah.
And then, so it's like, I'm just curious if somebody else, or if that question was prefaced with, you know, in Aaron's first year, here's what he did. He took the team to blah, 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 blah. What are you going to do in yours? Well, then that's a fair thing to be like, you know, I'm not going to talk about his whatever, that thing. But for me, this is phony, because to me, as a fan, just make the playoffs. Don't be the 7th seed. That's where I'm at. Because
maybe win the division one time as a starting quarterback?
See, that's even higher achieving. Where me, I'm just like, get in the playoffs, don't be the 7th seed.
So
you're a phony.
You can save Matt for last. I had written down the compare, and then I'd said
so
it.
let's say we'll ask Jason Wilde when he joins next, because he was at Jordan Love's media
so actually,
availability.
Jesse Nelson chimes in. Yes, Wilde asked the question.
There we go.
It's comparing the Rodgers.
There we
three,
go.
so,
All right.
So now that you know that, Molly, is he still phony, or you think he's for real?
I still think it's phony, because I don't think that the Super Bowl should be their aspirations.
Wait, is this real? Did Oklahoma was down 3-1 at the start of this last?
Yeah, they just hit a home run, walk-off home run.
The Women's College World Series.
Walk-off 3-run home run. Yeah, so sorry.
Oklahoma's
Ella
for real.
Parker-
Jordan Love is phony.
Oklahoma's the defending champions, too.
So Ella Parker, the team was down 3-1. Tennessee was basically celebrating in their dugout. Ella Parker from Oklahoma just hit a game-winning 3-run home run to give them a 4-3 victory over Tennessee. They were down to their last strike. I'm sorry for just getting distracted, but I was like, is this did this already happen? Is this a replay? Because Oklahoma's the 2 seed, and they almost lost to the 7 seed Tennessee.
It would have been the first time since 2018 that a number 1 seed lost the opening round of the Women's College Softball World
they
Series.
weren't a 1 seed, though.
Well, no, they were the defending champ. Excuse me.
Oh,
Quickly
gotcha.
circling back to Jordan Love. Again, it's all phony, because it's all generic. It has to be so hard to say nothing. It would just be easier for him to give a real answer.
It's word salad.
He really is. He makes a lot of salads with words. It was just a bunch of nothing that he gave us. So I'm going to call it phony again, because, again, obviously his goal is to win the Super Bowl or go to the Super Bowl. But, guy, every kid tells you my goal is to be a professional athlete. And obviously more likely the Packers win the Super Bowl than, little Johnny becomes a professional athlete. But the point is, how about
Johnny?
But why don't we just pick a normal goal, whether it's playoffs or win the division? That's a generic.
I think he was asked about it. So
he could just go back and say, again, you is an adult that can use his own words. Like, I get the addressing the Rodgers thing, but he could go, all right, yeah, Rodgers got to the Super Bowl in year 3. I don't want to compare myself to him. You know what? I haven't won a division yet as a starting quarterback, so that's going to be my goal number 1. That sets us up for the rest of our goals.
Okay.
You know why I answered that so easily? Because every time I've interviewed any athlete ever, they usually, if they give a real answer, it's like, we have our goals, and it starts with winning our conference or winning our division or winning this, and then we can allows us to reach our other goals.
You know what Jim Rutledge is? He's for real. So is Jason Wilde.
Meant to make you. No, I know I get the Wilde Matt Gibbs quick will thing though.
Well, I mean, he was asked about a Super Bowl, so the fact that he brought it up doesn't surprise me too much.
But he could just change the
I guess I don't know. I'm very. If you ask me something, like, I will answer it the way you're absolutely baiting me to answer the question.
Yeah,
like,
but you're not interviewed every single day after every single practice.
I get that, but I'm just saying, like, that was for real. He answered the question the way it was asked. Do I think it's a little bit of a word salad? Yeah, but like
it's word salad.
It's still a nothing burger, but like that was. I'll call it for real, but it's about as close to phony as for real can get.
The team at Canopy Wealth Management is for real. They're no phonies. Take the time to truly get to know and understand the dynamics of your values and goals for your financial future. Their local professional team brings over 90 years of collective experience in wealth management industry to the table for the benefit of their clients. At Canopy, care, competence, and clarity isn't just a tagline. It's a promise. Go to canopy-wealth.com. Get started today. That's canopy-wealth.com. Jason Wilde, next.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly.
It's like dogs. Like you get like the snickerdoodle or all these. Like you're trying to build a
snickerdoodle.
Is that a real dog?
No, it's like a golden doodle.
Golden
it's a cookie.
doodle. Golden doodle.
Like a snickerdoodle. Half poodle, half Snickers bar.
I'm sure. Golden doodle. I don't know. This breeding dogs thing is dumb.
Presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Madison on YouTube.
Hi, Dave from Canopy Wealth Management here. Our balanced approach helps guide you through a complex and ever-changing landscape. Throughout your family's financial planning journey, we will serve as a partner, advocate, and steward in all aspects to help you achieve your goals with confidence. At Canopy, care, competence, and clarity, it's not just a tagline, it's a promise. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started today. That's canopy-wealth.com.
Every event tells a story, from the first impression to the final moments. Have someone guide your guests through every chapter the way you want the story told. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With a strong presence, great voices, and an award-winning team, trust us to guide, direct, and inform your guests through all the different chapters of the day. For fun, memorable entertainment for any event, please visit us at celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Hey, it's Riley Yauk. Stay in the know on area high school sports and follow ESPN Madison on social media for Prep Mania on Deck, each week's preview for the top games and events. Prep Mania on Deck is brought to you by Zimbrick Honda, a proud supporter of high school sports and local communities.
The 2015 Wisconsin men's hoops team gave us all a march to remember.
There will be no undefeated champion on Wisconsin with an unbelievable stretch drive to the championship game.
On June 26th, enjoy an intimate celebration with the stars of the run with Made 'em Believe. Presented by M3 Insurance. World-class expertise and individual attention. Tickets are on sale now at uwhoops2015.com. Made 'em Believe, June 26th at the Orpheum Theater in Madison.
The ESPN Madison Open presented by Coors Light is back. On Monday, August 4th, the ESPN Madison crew is packing their bags and teeing off at TPC, Wisconsin for a day on the links. This year's Open is benefiting Mentoring Positives, a nonprofit based right here in Madison dedicated to uplifting youth and families through mentoring, athletics, and youth entrepreneurship. The ESPN Madison Open is also brought to you by Ridgetop Exteriors, Starion Bank, Celebrations Entertainment, The Bogey Factory, Bruner Realty, and Hush Blackwell.
Bikers need protection, not just from other drivers, but unfortunately from insurance companies too. We've been fighting for injured bikers and their families for more than 30 years. Call Gruber Law Offices today. One call, that's all.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Metro Kia Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
Jason, quick
You
question.
are one of one.
3-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year.
Thank you for helping me prove my point, Molly. Because my point. Well, is this Matt Hamilton?
Am I not allowed to know the word filibustering?
I just didn't see that coming. That's all.
Good. I want to keep you on your toes.
Jason Wilde is on Jim, Matt, and Molly.
What's up with that? 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 What's up with that?
That is Jason Wilde's theme music. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. We are presented by Coors Light. We're in the Everlight Solar Studio. Primetime Laura Sean behind the glass. You can see us on the ESPN Madison YouTube stream. You can stream us with the ESPN Wisconsin app. And Jason, thank you so much for taking the time to join the show today. A day early, but a lot going on in Packerland and a lot of talk around Jordan Love and leadership. And I wanted to get your take on this. We've heard a lot of clips. We've heard you ask some of the questions in some of these clips. But I think Jordan Love, and I think coaching staff understand this, and Jordan Love understands this, you have to walk a fine line of being maybe trying to improve and being more vocal, but also being authentic. Because for me, the best leaders are fair and authentic. And if the time that a leader or a manager would lose me is when they start trying to get outside of who they are. I immediately check out if they're trying to be, if you're a subdued person, all of a sudden you're trying to be Johnny, I'm going to own the room guy, I'm checking out because I'm like, what is going on? I can't. So you gotta,
like when I jump in with stats.
Yes. Like, who are you? Like,
yeah,
what
exactly.
Is this? Yeah.
Take that
so,
for data.
Jason, I'll get your thoughts on leadership, and then how do you think the Packers and Jordan Love are trying to approach it? Are they trying to turn him into, the movie star quarterback? They can just rah-rah a team to victory, or are they understanding his limitations?
Yeah, it's a really good question, and not just because I asked something similar to that to him. Because, look, first of all, I think good leaders are also like good coaches and good teachers. And that is, they know that while you want to treat everyone fairly, you don't want to treat everybody the same, right?
Yep.
Like, for instance, I've been coached or managed, or however you want, whatever phrase you want to use, by people that basically want to tell you how much you suck.
Sounds
and
great.
That doesn't help me, right? Like, this was terrible. Do better. Okay. I would like tools to be better. How about that, right? And if you're trying to motivate me, like you said, kind of checking out. Telling me, like, chewing my tail out, that's not going to help me. Like, if you really want to kind of manipulate me, it's, that I disappointed you. That I never want to disappoint people. And so that's a motivation for me. So if I'm Jordan Love, I want to make sure that, if it's a guy that is not going to respond well to me chewing his ass out, then I'm not going to do that. I'm going to take a different approach with him, right? Some guys need an arm around their shoulder. Other guys need a kick in the ass. And good leaders can tell the difference. So I think that is number one. Number two is what you just said. Like, you can't step out of who you are. Now, it was interesting because, I left the Love scrum so I could go talk to Josh Jacobs, who's on the other side of the room. And because it's great for one person to talk about this is what I'm doing to be a leader, and this is what Matt wants me to be as a leader. I want to know, well, how's he doing? Mm-hmm. And the people to ask about that are not him.
Yep.
And I thought the most interesting thing I heard, and I heard it both from Josh Jacobs and from Jaden Reed, was that he is more vocal in meetings. And when they're watching film, like yesterday, they watched film of Tuesday's practice. And if he sees something that isn't the way it should be run or it's designed to be run, or if he wants to make an adjustment to something and change the route slightly or the release or whatever it is, he speaks up now, as opposed to before maybe letting the coaches do the talking. So I think those are two components where you can evolve as a leader without being someone you're not, because you're right. I mean, all of us can see through, well, maybe not Matt, he's pretty easy to fool, but most people can see through people who aren't being true to themselves, right? And if you're being someone you're not, that ain't going to work.
Well, Jason, something that we were trying to wrap our heads around yesterday was, who is the leader on the offense? Like, is it Elton Jenkins? Is it Josh Jacobs? In your opinion, who is it?
It's Josh Jacobs. I mean, I did enjoy, because look, sometimes leaders make mistakes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in his case, like, you could argue, and I certainly would, even though he did a very good job of convincing me otherwise. We had a great back and forth about this. But he probably, getting kind of swept up in the Radio Row euphoria at the Super Bowl, there was probably a better way to say, we need to augment the wide receiver room, as opposed to saying, we need a bona fide number one wide receiver. All these guys are good, but none of them are a number one wide receiver. And I did enjoy, like he said, I think I did light a fire under them. And I think he's right. But I think that was, I think he realized after the fact with some of the blowback that it wasn't, he may have achieved the goal of motivating them, but it wasn't in the manner that was probably the healthiest. But he said, Jaden Reed came to him after. He's like, hey, man, I get it. We haven't proven blank at this point. So I get it. And I'm using that, what you said, as motivation. Well, good. Again, I'm not sure that if Josh had a do-over, he would take exactly the same approach. But if it's motivating him, then more power to him, right? So I do think he's the guy. I mean, I just think that he's got a great way about him. Like, he's so, like, he's a tough badass, but at the same time, like, he really is good at connecting with people. And, if you know his story and everything that he went through with Hurricane Katrina and all the challenges he went through in his childhood, like, he's a pretty remarkable dude. And I think guys really, truly gravitate to him. Like, I'll give you another example. Like, Marshawn Lloyd, who I love the universe of aggregation, because I wrote a story about him for Channel 3000, and the only real news peg on it was that he's, according to Ben Sermons, he was full speed ahead. And of course, yesterday I walk in and he's working with the rehab group and he's not practicing. But what I love about Josh Jacobs is that he made Marshawn Lloyd drive him to practice every day last year while he was on injured reserve. Not because he needed a ride, not because he didn't want to walk or ride a bike, but it was so they could spend that time to practice and back, which is only 4 or 5 minutes each way from the facility down to the Hudson Center or the practice field and parking and whatever else, and then back. Like, they could probably have just walked, but these are guys that, when it was cold, I remember they would leave their cars running throughout the entire practice. Very concerned about the environment.
Wow.
But, like, he did that just because he thought, all right, here's a guy that needs that extra attention. He's struggling with not being able to play. Then he had the appendix. And he made sure that was a connection point for him. And so those are the types of things that really good leaders go about the right way. And so I think he's undeniably that guy. And then Love is that guy because of his position. Quarterbacks, whether you want to be a leader or not, you're kind of stuck with that. I know we've talked about Marcus Mariota maybe not having that kind of personality either. But you have to be, in some form, a leader. So those would be the two on offense. And then the other guy that should be in the conversation, and I just think so highly of him as a person, especially given that, he could take after his dad, who obviously has some very strong opinions and not afraid to share them, is Christian Watson, right? Like, I just think he carries himself the right way. He was a great teammate to Romeo Dobbs.
That's where my mind
When I
went.
can tell you that there were guys in that locker room who were not happy with Romeo at all, and he was authentic and supportive, and so those three on the offensive side of the ball would get my vote.
So, Jason, Jordan Love said that the wide receiver room is hunky-dory. What was the vibe you got? Because I don't know if I'm buying it exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. How's the Team Schuster room? Is it hunky-dory?
It's okay.
Depends on the day.
Yeah.
Oh! Have I stumbled into a scoop for Channel 3000? No. So here's the thing. Like, I didn't, and I think very highly of Jaden Reed. Like, I think he's a really smart, engaging guy. I think he's really good. And so there's a lot of good things about him. At the same time, I did not find his, if I only get 2 passes thrown my direction, I'm okay with that, spiel believable. Like, if we win and I only get 2 targets, I'm happy. No, you're not. Like, you're happy you won, but let's be truthful, right? Like, and I said this to him in the exchange. I was like, okay, but we can agree that if you touch the ball more, the team is better, right? I mean, the guy's led them in receiving the last 2 years. He makes plays. So my point is that they're always going to say all the right things publicly, but privately, I'm sorry, I just don't believe that if guys are getting limited opportunities that they're going to be hunky-dory, to use your phrase. So no, I like everything's fine now. Like yesterday, I was saying this to somebody else, like they do this thing called 2 spotting now the last couple of years, where they basically run 2 practices for the 11-on-11 period. Like, they have the 2s and the 3s at one end of the field with, like, Malik Willis or Sean Clifford or Taylor Elgersma, the Canadian quarterback, running the offense at that end. And then the other end, they've got 1s and a few 2s doing the same practice and running the same plays, but it's Jordan Love at quarterback. It's the starters on both sides of the ball. And the first snap of offense, the 2 wide receivers, I think, were Romeo Dobbs and Bo Melton. Now, I love Bo Melton. He is a prince of a guy. Like, I like him so much. He's not their number 1 wide receiver. Even Bo Melton wouldn't say he's the number 1 wide receiver, right? So they ran through just about everybody. The only guy that wasn't with that group, Wicks was there, Reed was there, Dobbs was there, Golden was there, Malik Heath was there. The only guy that Bo Melton was there, obviously. The only guy that could be in the top 7 that wasn't was Savion Williams, who was down at the other end. But other than that, so I think right now everyone's happy because they're all getting work with the 1s and they're all catching passes. But once we get to game days and there's 65, 70 snaps and they're running the ball on, 30 to 33 of them, maybe they're not going to be so hunky-dory. So they say all the right things. They've had this narrative now for basically 3 years running. But, again, I'll believe it when I see it, that it's not an issue. Because there's no way Jaden Reed was happy catching 11 passes over the final 5 games last year. There's just, he can say that, but they also lost 3 of those 5 games.
Jason, I wanted to play, because I think it ties a little bit into veteran leadership could be useful in some of these rooms. And this is a Uber vet who's currently a free agent, but Mercedes Lewis was on with Kay Adams, and Ryan's got the clip here.
I know that, that last year when I was there, it was close. They were close to bringing me back for another year before I signed with Chicago. But the direction that they were going was going to be young. And, obviously Matt is one of my best friends now. He FaceTimed me last week and we were kind of talking about it. And it's really out of his hands, and I understand the business side of it. I think, never necessarily let my feelings get in the way of the work that I put in and the work always will show on the film. And that's really what I have complete control over is my attitude, my effort, regardless of where I am. And, you know, it's just one of those things. I feel like it ended a little too soon in Green Bay. Obviously, you know, guys were leaving. A-Rod left, Cobby. There was just guys just leaving from that team. My boy Devontae was going to Oakland and Vegas. So it was just a lot going on.
So 2 things from that. One, I do think a guy like Mercedes Lewis would help any team as far as a vet. But the thing that stood out to me was he said he was talking to Coach LaFleur, and he said that, like, out of his hands as far as adding a player. And it is a little wild to me that Coach LaFleur, if he really wanted to add Mercedes Lewis, like a third tight end on the team, like I feel like the coach would have some sway. I mean, Aaron Rodgers was apparently able to put Randall Cobb and all his old buddies together that if Matt LaFleur really wanted Mercedes Lewis, is Goody just say no? I feel like you get a little leeway for a bottom-of-the-roster player who is a leader in a proven clubhouse addition. So I guess I'll take your thoughts on the overall statement from Mercedes Lewis.
I don't think he does have that say. And
wow.
look, let's be honest. The Rodgers had say on one guy, and that was Cobb. Like he made them reacquiring Cobb a prerequisite for him coming back for that season. Remember?
Yeah.
Like it certainly wasn't like the Jets where they would, you know, they brought in Tim Boyle for crying out loud. So that's part of it, right? And I love Tim Boyle, but he has done a great job of finding employment year after year after year, and I respect the heck out of him for that. Now, in Mercedes' case, look, LaFleur and him were so tight. It's one of my favorite stories that for Christmas one year, or for his birthday, I can't remember which, all the other assistant coaches got him a Mercedes Lewis jersey for a gift because he loved and I agree with him, by the way. Like Wes Hodkowitz and I, Wes from Packers.com, when there was nothing going on in the locker room, if you were trying to find us, we were probably standing, and like Devontae wasn't in there, or there was no one that we needed to interview. We were probably standing by Mercedes' locker talking to him. Like he's that kind of magnetic personality. And for all the struggles that the Bears had, and he didn't obviously have a lot of production for them either, but that was one of the smartest things. And LaFleur definitely wanted him back. Now, you know, to what degree did Goody listen to him or make it seem like he was open to it and then ultimately, you know, decided against it? I don't know the answer to that. But I think that's pretty clear. I mean, it came from Mercedes, not from me, that, you know, it was out of his hands. I think I find that extremely credible that was the case.
Jason, great stuff. We appreciate it.
All right, guys, take care. Be good.
All right, that's Jason Wilde. Ryan, give me a number.
Let's go Jordan Love entering year 3 as a starter. Let's go caller number 3 to give away some High Life.
Caller number 3 gets a case of High Life, 844-770-3776. Caller number 3 gets a case of High Life, 844-770-3776. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly.
Like, winning teams could talk trash.
Yeah, but
Giannis talks trash.
Maybe we're not good enough to be talking trash.
Or maybe it's not your personality.
It's not tight. I'm not tight.
Yeah, I'm not tight either.
I'm not tight at all. What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about.
It's not tight. I'm
Who's
not tight.
Ben Johnson?
I'm so loose right now.
We don't know. I don't know who he is. I have no idea what he is.
I'm not tight.
Presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Madison on YouTube. Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute brought to you by Starion Bank with 3 Madison area locations in Middleton, Sun Prairie, and Monona. Starion Bank is here investing in your community. Start your experience at starionbank.com. Member FDIC.
In for Pablo Iglesias, I'm Jesse Nelson. Kickoff times and TV networks for the first 3 games of the 2025 Wisconsin Badgers football season have been announced. The Badgers kick off the season Thursday night, August 20th 28th, hosting Miami, Ohio at 8 o'clock on the Big Ten Network. The following Saturday, September 6th, Wisconsin hosts Middle Tennessee State at 3 o'clock on FS1. And the big one, Saturday, September 13th at Alabama, set for an 11 a.m. kickoff, televised on either ABC or ESPN.
Don't wait to upgrade your windows and doors, because right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get 0% financing for up to 6 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
This update sponsored by UW Credit Union. For every stage of life, UW Credit Union is here for every you.
The Milwaukee Brewers have partnered with GovX to offer 50% off select tickets to active duty military, veterans, first responders, government employees, and teachers at Sunday through Thursday games, courtesy of Vortex. Visit brewers.com/GovX.
Join UW Credit Union at uwcu.org. Insured by NCUA.
An unsuspecting driver at a Milwaukee barbershop.
I got an apprentice here shadowing me. I'm gonna put this hot towel on, man. About a good 3 minutes, all right?
The apprentice is Donald Driver.
So when you come here, you drive?
Yes.
Your car got seatbelts?
Yeah.
You wear them?
No.
Okay, but why not?
I don't want to.
But do you know you can get a ticket for that? I'm gonna give you a ticket. Bet you wish you buckle up now.
Oh my God. Donald Driver can't always be there to remind you.
Take it, click it. There we go. Click it or ticket.
And let's reduce fatalities on Wisconsin roadways. Sponsored by Wisconsin DOT.
Ben Brust here to tell you about why your next work van should be from Mercedes-Benz Sprinter at Zimbrick European. First off, we have versatility. The Sprinter vans offer 16 body types and thousands of ways to customize that space. Number 2, we have reliability. Sprinter's most powerful diesel engines last longer and require less maintenance, spend more time on the road and less time in those bays. Number 3, we have safety. Sprinter's safety technologies include curtain airbags all around, load adaptive electronic stability program, and crosswind and attention assist. Number 4, Van Care Mobile. Our maintenance team can come to you with routine service. Who wants to go in? Let them come to you. They work with multiple trucks on one visit. Use the Mercedes Meet Connect. And last but not least, get your Zimbrick Sprinter at Zimbrick European at Rimrock Road and the Beltline, or go online at ZimbrickEuropean.com, because your next Mercedes Sprinter van is waiting for you.
I'm John Hayes, owner of Goodman's Jewelers. We've been at the heart of many magical moments, from engagements to weddings to sweet 16s. It warms my heart to be a part of these moments for 40 years with people I consider family. With the highest standards and an eye for classic beauty, enjoy a warm boutique setting at Goodman's Jewelers, where integrity shines in every gem. At 220 State Street, Goodman's Jewelers, the Diamond Store, Madison, since 1933.
The best is at Goodman's.
Siding Unlimited recently installed 20 brand new amazing energy efficient windows. Our Siding Unlimited crew removed the old windows, inspected the wall for wood rot, installed the new beautiful windows, and cleaned up behind ourselves. It was easy to get started. The homeowner met us at our amazing showroom on 2018 South Stoughton Road in Madison. Trust me, our showroom is a must-see. Looking for new windows, siding, roofing, and doors? Visit us at sidingunlimited.com or stop by our beautiful showroom in Madison.
Tournament host Steve Stricker joins a star-studded group of PGA Tour champions at the American Family Insurance Championship. Catch the action June 6th through the 8th with an exciting team competition and a new tournament home at TPC, Wisconsin. This year's AmFam Champ concert features Megan Maroney with special guest Clint Black on Friday, June 6th at Bree Stevens Field. All proceeds support the Steve Stricker American Family Insurance Foundation and American Family Children's Hospital. Get your tickets today at amfamchampionship.com.
The High Life Backyard Dive Bar giveaway is brought to you by Miller High Life. Celebrate local dives at home with the champagne of beers. Miller High Life.
Congratulations to Al from Wanakee. He is in the High Life. Wins a case of High
And
Life.
if you don't pick that High Life up in the next 2 hours, I'm taking it up.
People have been amazing at picking it up because they
I
want
know.
that High Life.
I just wanted a beer.
And Matt's threats get people moving too.
Yeah.
For sure.
She's Molly Brown. Alongside Matt Hamilton, I am Jim Rutledge in the Everlight Solar Studio. You can see us on the ESPN Madison YouTube stream. Stream us with the ESPN Wisconsin at primetime. Laura Shine behind the glass. We still haven't gotten to our Siding Unlimited poll question, but we did talk to Jason Wilde, and I want to get to our Siding Unlimited poll question now. And I like it because there's a lot of excitement this time of year. And everything's rosy this time of year, whether it's your team, whether it's Packers, Bears, whatever. So everyone's excited. And so I want to ask this question, our side and limited poll question. What are you most excited for this season, for this next Packers season? Jordan Love, year 3/6, Jeff Hafley, year 2, or Matthew Golden, year 1?
What does Jordan Love year 3/6 mean?
Well, year 3 as a starter.
Year 3 as a starter, but he's going into his 6th year in the league. He even referenced it.
Don't you think people might think that it's a year half, 3 of 6?
That's fine, but I just
If
want
you're
to
a
say
mathematician.
I want to say
Matt Hamilton
on the air that he was going into year 6 in the league.
On the
year
poll,
6
On
in
the
this
poll,
offense.
you can say Jordan Love, year 3 starter.
I said year 3 parentheses as a starter. Yes.
Okay,
On the at
because
ESPN Madison citing
he's got
limited poll question.
6 years in the same offense, 6 years with the same offensive coordinator, 6 years with the same head coach, 6 years learning to be a professional. 3rd season as a starter.
Well, not the same offensive coordinator. Stanovich has only had
get
the
out
job
of here.
2 years.
LaFleur is the guy calling the plays. Like we know that he's the one running everything.
Get out of here.
It's not tight. I'm not tight.
You want to argue otherwise?
Nah.
No,
We don't need to get into it. We got to get to the second hour.
All right, so that's our side of the limited poll question. You can chime in the Carbos Talking text line 844-770-3776. This is more. There is far more than just watches and engagement rings at Chalmers Jewelers. You can get wedding bands, you can get custom jewelry, you can get earrings, you can get necklaces, so many things at Chalmers Jewelers, Madison's custom and Madison's family-owned jeweler, Chalmers Jewelers. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
Welcome to the Chevy Lightning Round. Guess the clues to win. First team, you're up.
Powerful, commanding, unstoppable.
Silverado.
Adventurous, fun, techie.
Trailblazer.
Stylish, nimble.
Trax.
Innovative, electric.
Blazer EV. Lightning Round champions. You've guessed all the right Chevy clues.
Wherever the year takes you, explore it together in the Chevy of your choice. See your Badgerland Chevy dealer today.
Hi, this is Dave Kane. You're listening to Madison's Home of the Bucks, a good Karma brand radio station, 100.5 ESPN WTLX, Monona, Madison.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good afternoon, Madison. I'm Ryan Wollersheim, and this is your Sports and Update brought to you by Ridgetop Exteriors, Wisconsin's premier roofing, siding, and window contractor since 2002. Visit them at ridgetopexteriors.com. Well, Packers OTAs continued up at Green Bay earlier today, but yesterday Jordan Love spoke with the assembled media, and he talked about how he's trying to grow as a leader heading into year 3 as the Green Bay Packers starter.
It's always important, especially at the quarterback position, to be the leader of the team. You're the voice in the huddle, speaking out the guys. So that's something I'm always trying to improve on, get better at, just be more comfortable being a vocal leader. But it's definitely something that I've put a lot of work in since I've been here, trying to step out my comfort zone and just speak up. But I think the more comfortable you get with the guys, the easier that all becomes.
We spoke with Jason Wilde right here on Jim, Matt, and Molly about Jordan Love's growth as a leader, as well as much more from Packers OTAs earlier in today's show. Listen back to that appearance on the ESPN Wisconsin app. Also, head over to ESPN.com for more from Packers reporter Rob Domofsky about Jaden Reed and all things Packers OTAs and all things Packers offseason this year. Then the Milwaukee Brewers, they got the day off before taking on the Phillies tomorrow. Tonight, here Knicks-Pacers Game 5 on the Eastern
Metro
Conference
Kia
Finals.
of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
Everybody's ego takes a shot on this show.
You gotta keep your chill with Jim, Matt, and Molly.
I am savage.
So you're not special. Jim, if we want to play this game, we can play this game.
And I'm just like, oh my God, this guy's going to swing on Jim. He's a complicated fellow.
People like me.
I don't think so.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Madison on YouTube.
We're learning a lot about each other.
We got Homer, Matt Hamilton.
Yeah.
We have
Pessimist Molly.
No. Realist.
and then Contrarian.
Total. Yeah.
Jim Rutledge here.
It's Murr.
I'm the problem. It's
Mr.
Could it be possible you guys are the best show in ESPN Wisconsin, the whole state?
Yeah, obviously. It's
possible. Anything's possible.
You're the best.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio in downtown Madison. Alongside Matt Hamilton and Molly Brown, here's Jim Rutledge.
It is hour number 2 of Jim, Matt, and Molly. We are presented by Coors Light. The Mountains are blue, you know what to do.
And that's crush a Coors Light.
I am Jim Rutledge. I have the power in the Everlight Solar Studio alongside. There's probably a tie-in there. I don't know who's in charge of the Everlight, but like power. I got the power in the Everlight Solar Studio. Molly Brown, Matt Hamilton with you.
Good
Jim
call.
Rutledge.
Marketing, whoever handles that.
Yeah. Not me. Jim Rutledge alongside Primetime Warshine behind the glass. So you can see us on the ESPN Madison YouTube stream. You can stream us with the ESPN Wisconsin app. You can get into the show on the Carbus Talking text line 844-770-3776. List is more. We have a Siding Unlimited poll question. What excites you most for this next Packers season? Jordan Love, year 3 as a starter, year 6 in the league. Jeff Hafley, year 2 as defensive coordinator, or Matthew Golden, year 1 as Packers wide receiver. Matt?
That's an interesting one. Obviously, like Jordan Love is the one that's probably has the largest impact. Maybe Hafley, but I'm excited because this is the year I'm like expecting Jordan Love to take his step forward. Like enough excuses. Like Jim said, this is your 6th year in the league, 3rd year as a starter. I am giving the starter 3 years. That is basically the
Next
line.
year it'll be 4.
At the end of this year, we're going to know exactly what Jordan Love is.
At the end of next year, we'll know exactly who he is.
I think we know who he is.
Maybe. I'm holding out hope that he can make a step forward. So I think that's the one I'm most curious about. But I'm most excited about Matthew Golden. Finally, a first-round wide receiver. All we've ever complained about with Jordan Love since he's taken over as a starter is that he doesn't have weapons. Like,
I mean, that's what we complain about with Aaron Rodgers, too. I mean, besides Devontae Adams.
Exactly, and that's a big asterisk. Besides Devontae, one of the best wide receiver, the best wide receiver the Packers have ever had. Or at least the top 2, if you're going to throw in Sterling Sharp. But, like, I'm just saying, Jordan Love now has a guy, like, we don't know what Matthew Golden's going to be. Not all first rounders pan out. But there's no, like, real excuse anymore. You've got the offensive line. You've got 2 tight ends that are capable. You've got a wide receiver room that is deep. You might not have, like, that superstar, but you got a lot of good players. Like, the excuse, and you have a premier running back. Like, the excuses for Jordan Love are done. But I'm really pumped to see what Matthew Golden can do in this offense.
I'm feeling 22.
It is funny because Reed was a 2nd-round pick, Dobbs was a 4th-round pick, Musgraves was a 2nd-round pick, Tucker Kraft 3rd-round pick. So
Watson 2nd.
They've spent a lot of draft capital to give him weapons. A lot of draft capital.
I mean, isn't that most teams though?
I'm not disagreeing, but he was saying he didn't have it. You've been begging for weapons.
True.
There's been a lot of. It's kind of similar to the defensive line. Is this Goody not drafting good players, or is this is the defensive line coach not getting the most out of those players? And for wide receivers, it's like, are these receivers not any good, or is the offense not maximizing them, or is Jordan Love not good enough to maximize these receivers? Well, and it's probably all a little bit of everything.
Yeah, I think it's like we've got a lot of good wide receivers, but no real like great ones, or at least no one's emerged as the great one yet.
But I'm saying they've invested a lot of capital, high-end draft capital to have. Like, so you think that one of those guys would have emerged?
Yeah, I mean, realistically, Jaden Reed has emerged 2 years in a row, top target, most yards. Like, he is the number one.
He's the leading receiver, but is he a number 1 receiver?
No.
I think we've talked about it. He has an army of 2s, right? And I think that's even the concern with bringing Matthew Golden in. But I will say I am aligned with you that I am most excited for Matthew Golden because I'm just excited to see a young guy. I'm excited to see this guy that they drafted in the first round the first time in 22 years, like you said. Like, I am excited for that. I think he has a great personality just based on what we've seen so far. So, like, he just as a person, I'm like, he excites me, I would say. Yeah. But I will say for Jeff Hafley, I'm not feeling confident about this defense because I feel like we've been burned so many times by getting excited about the Packers defense. I mean, look, even last year we were like, oh my God, they look like a completely different team, blah, blah, blah. Like, they look great in practice. Okay, they look great in practice because they were going against a not great Packers offense too, right? Like, so it's like, I'm not going to get excited about this defense maybe ever. I can't say ever again, but for the time being, I'm not going to get excited about them because they've burned me over and over. And I just don't think that they made enough necessary changes to this defense to actually get better this year. And then for the Jordan Love aspect of it, I'm probably least excited about him because I'm most nervous about him. Like, I understand that, you're giving him the 3 years as a starter, which I don't disagree with. But, like, I think like Jim has said, I feel like we know who he is. It's just I'm looking for him to be consistent this next season, and that is probably the biggest thing that I'm looking for. And I'm worried that if he isn't consistent, then I'm going to be like, oh boy, we have a problem. We have a big problem because you can't show up in the NFL and only show up for 6 to 8 games. And that's what he's done in the last 2 years, and that's what I am nervous about. And I am very nervous that he is getting paid $55 million, and next year his cap is outrageous, isn't it? Like, I believe that season was this year is the year that we have to No,
it's the next season.
Yeah, next season wild, is like 100, isn't it? Like, it's crazy, right?
In 2026, I think it balloons up pretty high. This coming season, 2025 season, it's still pretty manageable.
So the next one.
Yeah, year 4. Year 4 as a starter.
Which makes me very nervous that it's like, I'll feel okay with his cap hit being huge like that. I mean, I don't love it, obviously, but I'll feel a lot better about it if he's actually consistent through, 15 games this next season. But if he shows up in the same way that he has in a similar fashion the last 2 years, I'm going to feel horrible about that. And that's going to negatively affect my feelings towards Jordan Love.
One other thing that we didn't get to it in the For Real or Phony segment, but he was also asked about a lot of people thinking he took a step back from year 1 to year 2. He did respond to questions about that as well yesterday.
I mean, what is a step back is what I'd ask, you know what I mean? Everybody has different opinions, things like that. You got to block that stuff out. So it's all about the goals of the team at the end of the day. I'd say we won more games than we did the year before. So that's why I ask people, what is a step back? So everybody has opinions, things like that. Try and block that out and just focus on doing me, being the best player I could be, like I've talked about, and go forward. But at the end of the day, personal stats, things like that, that's all in the back. You got to focus on the goals of the team first and foremost.
You're a phony! How many games did Jordan Love miss 2 starts, both wins?
I believe he missed 2 starts.
He left the Jacksonville game.
He left the Jacksonville game, did not play the second half. Yes, missed 2 starts against the Titans and the Colts.
So he won 9 games last year. So he won the same amount of games. If you wanted to get into, he didn't win more games. The team did. But because there's a cut about LaFleur.
I mean, but then if he says, I only won blah, blah, blah games, well, then you'd be knocking him for not being a team player.
No, because here, there's a LaFleur cut where LaFleur tries to defend his stats by being lower. Well, I'm sorry. If you're going to defend the stats and you're getting into that game, Jordan Love wasn't out there for 2-year victories. So Jordan Love has won 9 games 2 years in a row. Jordan Love completed less completion. That's not an accumulation stat. Being worse at completion percentage is honestly the less you play might work in your favor. And he threw 11 interceptions, the same amount as the year before, in less games. If you want to tell me the counting stats of yards and TDs aren't the same, or they're lower because, fine. But I don't think we have this audio, but I think it was Ryan that told me Gabe Knights on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy broke down that game log-wise, Jordan Love was worse last year. So no matter how you want to break it out, he was worse. But do we have the LaFleur?
We do have Matt LaFleur pushing back.
They ran it more.
We do have Matt LaFleur pushing back against the notion that Jordan Love took a step back as well.
I think it's funny. I think there's a narrative out there that for whatever reason that he wasn't as productive as the year before. Well, I mean, he missed significant time. He missed
2 wins.
The better of 3 games. Really, it was Indy, it was Tennessee. He went out in Jacksonville, and then he went out in Chicago. So 3 games is a significant amount of time.
So, right? I mean, I'm just saying if you're going to push back, then be factual, Matt LaFleur, that he missed 2 wins. I think, and again, for the record, I think Jordan Love is a good quarterback. I think he was the same quarterback last year as he was the year before. But I'm not the one pushing back. I don't. Maybe we can find the part from Gabe, but if you break it down game by game, he was statistically worse by game averages. It's fine. It doesn't mean he's going to be worse this year, but my stance is Jordan Love is a good quarterback who you can win a lot of games with. A Jared Goff level quarterback. Most teams would take that. Most fan bases would take that. I don't think that's degrading him. I haven't seen him.
No, not really.
It's not.
You cannot hate on Jared Goff. I think it's past the time that you can hate on him.
I'm not hating on Jared Goff. It was
like it.
Jim. It was.
I'll write this down and
Felt
I'll
like
say
there's a little bit of hating on Jordan Love. I know you're not, but the
Judgmental
game was
Jim.
different last year. We had a running back that was our bell cow. Like
But
you're gonna have different numbers.
I didn't. Gabe is the one that broke down the stats.
Yeah.
He didn't. You wouldn't have a lower completion percentage or throw more interceptions because you run the ball more.
There's definitely guys who play better the more they get fed. I'm not saying Jordan Love is necessarily that guy, but there's certainly
make better
instances
decisions with the ball.
where if you run the ball too much, or not too much, but if you run the ball a lot, a quarterback that cooks can't get cooking.
But part of the reason why they had to run the ball so much was Jordan Love was not playing up to his potential.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan Love couldn't run it himself.
What does every team say about a quarterback? We need a run game instead of play action. It makes their life so much easier. But according to Matt, that makes Jordan Love the only quarterback out there. His life is harder because
Let's
of that.
be realistic. The last 9 games of his first
He's
year
not
as a
gonna
starter,
8.
he had to cook, and that was his best 9 games.
8.
Damn. Okay, 8.
I just want to be
But
right.
they were his best games when they had to throw.
The aberration.
9 games is not an
The Giants game was not good. He was not good against the Giants.
Brutal.
He was not good against the Giants. So it was not, and he was
Okay,
not
then
good against
8 of the last 9.
No, because Pittsburgh he wasn't good. That was the 9th game. It would be 6 out of the last 8 because he was not good against Carolina either.
He wasn't great against the Bucs. They lost the game. He might have been fine, but it was not
He got
a winning
out-dueled
effort.
at home by. But that one we'll just give a pass. The stats look nice for it.
Baker Mayfield also popped off.
The Packers defense was atrocious.
Yeah, so that one I'm not counting that one. But he had a great game against the.
We're saying there's 2 seasons of different game flows. It wasn't a drastic dip. It went from 64 to 62.
64 to 63. But they're both below average already.
Okay.
He's below league average as a completion percentage. It's okay to say he got worse last year. It doesn't mean he's going to be worse this year.
Okay. I'm agreeing that it's okay to say that. I don't agree with it, but it's okay to say that.
You don't think he was worse last year?
I think the Packers ran a different offense last year. It was
that
Matt
forced
LaFleur's
them
offense,
to throw to less completion percentage? Fine. You can call the completion percentage same. You can wipe that off. You can call the 1% drops. Fine. What about the interceptions?
I mean, interceptions, that happens.
Tucker
like you
Kraft should have
said,
finished his route.
it's sometimes it's a little bit random how the ball bounces. There was weird tips in there.
Oh, so the Packers defense, earlier this week, you said the Packers defense is going to. Earlier this week, you said the Packers defense will maintain their turnovers.
I'm staying hopeful for that.
Okay,
yes.
but you're not. But then on the flip side, you're hopeful that Jordan Love will also get the bounces that will go in his favor.
Of course, I'm hopeful that I want the bounces
but you understand,
to go their way.
I just want to have a logical show.
No, we're just Jim. What you were saying is that interceptions and turnovers go in ebbs and flows. I agreed. I said I still think the Packers are going to be elite at catching them. That also could mean that Jordan Love throws the same amount, but who's to say that he didn't get lucky the year before on a couple drops by a defender? He could have been up at 13 interceptions or 11 interceptions like he had.
So the case is, my point is Jordan Love was the same guy last year as he was the year before.
At worst, I would give you that.
Yeah, I think I think I'm being kind, but and the only reason I brought up the win side of things, because if LaFleur and some Packer fans are going to be sticklers about the stats, then let's just be sticklers on the stats. Jordan Love won 9 games last year. Yep. If Jordan Love wants to be a stickler on the stats and get caught up in his feels about it, then be right. You won 9 games last year as the starter, Jordan Love. You're the starter of the Packers, and the Packers won 11 games. That's very true. But if we're going to get into the minutia of trying to defend you with stats, then be accurate. Jordan Love was the starting quarterback for 9 victories last year. Tell us about Odyssey.
Well, you guys know me. I'm a little bit of a stickler when it comes to my cheese. Not my stats, but definitely my cheese. I like Wisconsin cheese, and that's why Odyssey Feta has been a go-to of mine for a long time, and I've been thrilled to be partnering with them and talking to you guys about it. They have such an amazing lineup of fetas made right here in Wisconsin. Klondike Cheese Company, 4 generations of cheese-making excellence for over 100 years right here in Wisconsin. They've got the traditional. They've got Mediterranean herb, peppercorn, the tomato basil, and my favorite right now, the sweet heat. Give whatever you're eating that little bit of Greek flavor with feta and Odyssey. It's fantastic. And like I said, Wisconsin made 100 years of perfecting this recipe. So go find Odyssey Feta wherever you go grocery shopping, because they're nationwide, baby.
Don't quote me. Coming up next.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions, securing homes and businesses in the Madison area since 1987.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
The biggest games.
Back-to-back state championships. Still going. Lowers his shoulder into the end zone. Touchdown, Wanakee.
The most compelling stories.
Where are you going to be playing basketball next year?
I'm proud and excited to announce that I'll be going to the University of Charleston.
We are now joined by the Executive Director of the WIAA, Stephanie Hauser.
The area's best high school sports coverage is Zimbrick Honda's presentation of Prep Mania.
People travel the world to collect Hard Rock shirts, and Hard Rock Casino Rockford is going to give the people what they want. Get in on the action at Hard Rock Casino Rockford, where all new Unity card signups receive an official Hard Rock shirt, plus free play to kickstart a winning streak. Whether you're spinning the slots or playing the tables, you'll be dressed for success. Hard Rock Casino Rockford. Let's Hard Rock. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
Hey, want to make your next meal a little less ordinary? Well, head to Quick Trip. Hey, we are so back serving up our legendary No Ordinary Chicken. Yeah, your dinner is hand-breaded, fried to perfection, ready to eat for tonight's dinner. Or you can buy it cold, sealed fresh for tomorrow's lunch. You know, we love to make life easier for you. This isn't just any chicken. It's Quick Trip's No Ordinary Chicken. Stop in your local Quick Trip today and taste the difference.
Tournament host Steve Stricker joins a star-studded group of PGA Tour champions at the American Family Insurance Championship. Catch the action June 6th through the 8th with an exciting team competition and a new tournament home at TPC, Wisconsin. This year's AmFam Champ concert features Megan Maroney with special guest Clint Black on Friday, June 6th at Breese Stevens Field. All proceeds support the Steve Stricker American Family Insurance Foundation and American Family Children's Hospital. Get your tickets today at amfamchampionship.com.
In the next 30 seconds, I'm going to tell you how to save money and save the planet. It's simple. Ditch your energy bill and make the switch over to Everlight Solar. While electricity prices keep rising, Everlight Solar will give you the chance to take ownership of your power while also reducing your carbon footprint. As a local company based out of Madison, they'll be there with you every step of the way as you make the switch to solar. To learn more about how you can save money and save the planet, go to everlightsolar.com.
Join the Madison Money Guy, Christian Finfrock, for Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Get the information you need as you plan for retirement. That's Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Investment advisory services offered through Retirement Income Strategies, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
If you want a fresh twist on surf and turf, look no further than North and South Seafood and Smokehouse. Inspired by their time living in the Alaskan Gulf in southern Texas, owners Keith and Aaron brought together unique culinary backgrounds to create a truly authentic American restaurant here in Madison. After expanding to 2 more locations in DeForest and Verona, you can savor smoky, wood-fire barbecue and freshly prepared seafood from around the country. Explore their full menu and dining options at eatnorthandsouth.com. That's eatnorthandsouth.com.
All day, every day. The Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you. 844-770-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions.
We might have to run back the tape. Primetime Oilshine. I'm Jim Rutledge in the Everlight Solar studio. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light. Molly Brown, Jim Rutledge, Matt Hamilton with you. And we have Eric in Green Bay chimes in the Carlos Talk and Text line, 844-770-3776. This is more. You can't blame injuries for Jordan Love's slight regression, but it certainly was a factor. Doesn't account for some of the forced throws and poor decision-making, a la safety-avoiding pick 6 against the Rams. And that was for you.
That one?
that was just for you.
That was Tucker Kraft.
Anthony,
we all know it.
God, I so wish when they were here for the Packers tailgate tour that you should have.
Like,
You
hey,
should have
Tucker,
said,
how
"How
come
come you stopped your run?
Yeah.
We lost the game because you stopped your." I can't even remember if they lost. I think they won because it was the Rams,
I
right?
think they did win.
Anthony in Cottage Grove said, "I would say it's a step back, including the playoffs too."
Cottage Grove, are you going to come see us tomorrow at Oakstone Rec?
And then who was our friend from Wanakee who won?
Al from Wanakee.
Al from Wanakee wants to know if he can pick up his case of High Life tonight. Matt has scared him.
Clearly. I was worried that might start happening, honestly.
All
No,
right.
we can't do it tonight, Al, but tomorrow, well, actually, maybe not tomorrow either. We'll get it to you soon. We'll coordinate. We'll reach out later today.
I don't know if we
Maybe
need
he
to,
wants it for this weekend.
Yeah,
I don't blame him.
I don't know if we need to run the tape.
I'm
but
so happy he won a 12-pack that comes in a 30.
Rutledge is galactically stupid. Was going off on a talking text line.
Yeah, cook
But
it.
I think he somehow thought he placed himself in your body. Because if you run the tape back, I'm not. And Molly, you were here. Matt, you were talking. I wasn't on. I was looking at Matt talking directly.
That's because we both think Rutledge is galactically stupid.
So,
So you can tell Rutledge that.
he's going camping. We got to help him out. Back to Al. He's going camping. So we got to get him in High Life. But anyways,
Yeah.
Rutledge is
Agreed.
galactically stupid. Love all the points. Love the passion. I was arguing with Matt. I was not on the talking text line at the same time.
But keep it coming.
Yeah, love the passion there. All right, we're going to get to Don't Quote Me. Haven't played this in a while.
We're not saying it's gonna happen,
Let it ride.
but if it does, then we want credit.
Say that again, because that is an amazing take.
I told you all.
If not, well,
Don't quote me, boy, because I ain't said.
Yeah, guys, well, I got the idea that it was time for us to play another Don't Quote Me because Ben Solak over at ESPN.com did kind of steal our bit earlier in the week, right? He had his 100 notes, news, and articles for the 2025 NFL season 100 days away from kickoff. That 100 days away from kickoff of the NFL season was this past Tuesday, but we're now 101 days away from the Packers season, guys.
Felt like Green Bay to me.
Before they take on the Lions, not the Vikings, as Molly corrected me in our pre-show prep. Sorry about that. But we want to make our long shot, don't quote me predictions for the Packers 2025 season. So, Jim, you want to start us off? What is your 101 days away? What is your long shot, don't quote me prediction for the Packers season?
All right, I'm going to keep it positive here. And I'm going to say, I accidentally closed out a window I needed in 2024.
Stall.
So I want to go
Stall.
to, I'm stalling right here.
Panic!
So I'm going to go, I just want to get some proper stats here for our guy Tucker Kraft. I'm going to say that Tucker Kraft.
Our guy. I don't know if he's your guy, but okay.
You're a Chicago fan.
I don't have a problem with him. He might have a problem with me, but I don't have a problem with him.
Well, being as I'm not from Idaho.
Oh, okay. Idaho. Idaho.
Me neither.
Matt, Molly brought up a good point. You could have manned up and brought up your
It's
Tucker Kraft.
up. Oh, I should have, but after you did that, I was like, I can't tell him.
We can't just
he's
come
gonna
down.
think the show just buries Tucker Kraft.
So, no,
I can imagine.
And we told him that, what's his face?
That's why he's mad. Jared, we're like, hey, Jared Allen doesn't know who you are.
Jared Allen thinks you suck.
Yeah, like I thought we did him dirty enough.
Do we stall long enough, Jim?
No, yeah, we're good on it. I'm going to say that Tucker Kraft is going to have 80 catches and for 1,000 yards and 7 TDs.
Okay.
They put him in the upper echelon of tight ends. Because George Kittle, number one last year, this is fantasy stats, but 78 catches, 1,100 yards, and I don't have touchdowns in front of me. But I just, he's obviously a premier tight end, Brock Bauer. So his numbers are a little bit below what Kittle and Kelsey and Bowers do, and even Trey McBride, but in front, and he's more like the Sam Laporta level, kind of like top 5 tight end in production. And I think Tucker Kraft will be a top 5 in production tight end because I think that's going to lead all Packer pass catchers at the same time.
Interesting.
Which that's so interesting. That goes right into my don't quote me prediction.
Mine too.
Because somebody that we have talked about, Jared Goff, his number one wide receiver is
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
All right. Somebody that we have said is not a number one wide receiver. Just like we've said that the Packers don't have a bona fide number one wide receiver. So
that's a crazy take on Amon-Ra, by the way.
Besides the point.
Yeah, my take on that is that you could put them in any offense and they'd be elite, and I don't think he's one of those guys.
I think he's good,
there's-
but I don't think
10
he's Devontae Adams.
I think there's
that's all I'll explain it to you.
7 guys in the league that can do that.
So, going off of Amon-Ra St. Brown's numbers last year, similar numbers are going to happen for Jaden Reed this year. He's going to have 100 receptions for 1,200 yards and 10 touchdowns.
Man, they're going to feed.
They're going to feed him because his agent is going to be begging all season for it. That's what's going to happen.
I like that. That's pretty good. So I also am going the pass catcher route. Not going to do my guy Tucker Kraft because I don't want to jinx him.
Musgraves.
So I'm going to go with, obviously, Matthew Golden, number 22. Now,
he's gonna have 22 catches this year.
This might be
please no
a bold prediction. 22. So I could nerf it a little bit. I'll go bold. He is going to set the Packers rookie receiving yards record. Okay. And right now, that is a record that has stood for 73 years. Legendary Packer Billy Houghton.
Oh, Billy.
Back in 1952 rookie season had 1,231 yards. That was probably in like 12 games.
At best.
Right? Like, this is 1952. I'm going to say Jaden Reed is going to set that rookie.
Jaden Reed?
Or, excuse me, Matthew Golden is going
right.
to set that Packers rookie receiving yards record. So, 1,232.
How are our guys going to compete?
Well, I mean, we're going to have obviously 3,000-yard receivers. If Jaden Reed gets 100 catches and doesn't crack 1,000, I'm going to be... everything is a dunk and doink.
Well, for what? Okay, do you want me to tell you Amon-Ra St. Brown's numbers last year?
But can you tell me the numbers he had the year before last as well? Because the jump that Reed is making is pretty remarkable. Because Amon-Ra's stats were been, I think, pretty legit for the last 2 years prior to last year.
I mean, he had to make a jump eventually.
He came in pretty good as a rookie.
All right, so let's see. If my thing would load.
Stall. Jim, talk about Tucker Kraft.
I'll tell you about J&K Security Solutions. For over 35 years, J&K has been Madison's trusted name in security. Whether you're a homeowner or a business owner, they're your one-stop shop for all things security. Visit them today at jksecurity.com and experience the J&K difference. Your home, your business, their priority.
All right. So Amon-Ra St. Brown.
How are you not ready yet?
In 2023, he had 119 receptions versus last year, 115. Receiving yards in 2023, 1,515. Last year, it was 1,263. And he had 10 receiving touchdowns in 2023 and 12 in 2024.
And to set the stage, Matt, he's never had a season statistically as bad as Jaden Reed's best season.
That's because he's a true number one.
He's got Jared Goff throwing the ball.
Yeah, elite.
Elite QB, yeah.
First overall draft pick.
Oh, man.
You'd expect that from that kind of pedigree in the
What
draft.
do you expect from the fourth quarterback drafted?
So can I give the one pessimistic? Don't quote me then.
Sure.
Please
for the
do.
show. Mine's gonna be a little different. I'm not gonna do like a stat line prediction for you guys. It's actually gonna be a sort of a prediction about what's gonna happen after this season. And I think that after this season, the only Packer from the 2022 draft class who will still be on the roster is Devontae Wyatt.
So tell me who's leaving.
So that would mean that Quay Walker does not get re-signed. That means Christian Watson does not get re-signed. Sean Ryan, Romeo Doubs, and Zach Tom. This will all be their final seasons in Green Bay, as well as left tackle Rasheed Walker.
Which one would you be most upset with? I feel like Zach Tom.
Zach Tom for sure.
I don't hate that take. And if I'm going to bet on one to stay, it'd be Tom. But
you would bet on him to stay, but right now, as Jason Wilde's illustrated, they're playing around with him for no good reason, from what I can tell. He should be the solid starting right tackle, and right now they're leaving that job open for competition for some reason with him and, I guess, Anthony Belton or whoever might just come and take it. Zach Tom is easily your best offensive lineman, but it seems to me, especially on the offensive line, Goody really wants to try and reshape that unit. I think Zach Tom should be in there. I'm not convinced of it. The only person I'm convinced from that draft class who will be on the roster after next season is Devontae Wyatt, and that's because they already picked up his fifth-year option.
There you go.
And I think it's highly unlikely Quay Walker or Watson get re-signed. I would not be shocked if Romeo Doubs is traded mid-season or before the season.
Yeah. I'd
To the
say
Steelers.
They are looking for another playmaker as well. There's rumors. Adam Schefter. I don't know. I can't remember the tight end's name off the top of my head from the Dolphins.
Jonnu Smith.
Yep.
Jonnu Smith. The Steelers are kicking the tires on him. He has ties to Arthur Smith, the offensive coordinator for the Steelers, even though he's with Miami right now. On our way out, an honor for Frank the Tank. He will take his spot in the Wisconsin Athletic Hall of Fame this fall. Frank Kaminsky, a Wisconsin Athletic Hall of Famer.
Lucky by a billion.
Get your tickets for Made and Believe on June 26th at the Orpheum Theater, uwhoops2015.com.
This is Jim Matt Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening live from St. John's, Newfoundland. The Newfies love Jim, Matt, and Molly. 100.5 ESPN Madison.
Hello, I'm John Hayes, the owner of Goodman's Jewelers. It's been my pleasure to serve this community from this incredible store for over 4 decades. We stand upon high standards and classic traditions, pillars like honesty and integrity. Stop into Goodman's Jewelers, the longest-standing full-service jewelry store in the heart of Madison at 220 State Street. Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison since 1933.
The best is at Goodman's.
Hey, Matt Hamilton here to tell you about the delicious Odyssey Brands, a family-owned company crafting award-winning cheese right here in Wisconsin for over 4 generations. Made with locally sourced milk, Odyssey brings bold, Greek-style flavors straight to your table. From savory, crumbly feta to rich and creamy Greek yogurt, every bite is a taste of tradition and quality. You can find Odyssey products at most major retailers nationwide and online. Odyssey, crafted in Wisconsin, loved everywhere, dairy done right.
Live the high life and get into the nitty-gritty, home of the award-winning Gritty Burger and Madison's official birthday place. Enjoy a full menu including sandwiches, specialty burgers, wraps, salads, and weekend brunch. With the family-friendly environment, it's a great place to watch the big game. Plus, they've got Miller High Life Power Hour specials daily. Located in downtown Madison, Middleton, and Sun Prairie. The nitty-gritty, a tradition since 1968. Also enjoy high life at Bar Coralini, Paradise Lounge, and Jordan's Big Ten Pub.
Since J&K Security Solutions opened in 1987, our attention to detail and customer service have been our strongest assets. I'm President Jeffrey Beckman. We'll always do our best to find the most efficient and cost-effective solution to every job we tackle. Whether it's security for your home or business, installing video surveillance, or being able to control your garage doors from your phone, we can help you feel empowered with simple and user-friendly technology. Let's work together to secure your home or business. jksecurity.com.
Panic strikes as you realize on Wednesday that Thursday is your anniversary. The reservations being secured.
We'll see you at 8.
The gift being purchased. Yeah, you've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with early pay up to 2 days early on direct deposits. So even though they call you Last Minute Lisa, we'll make your last minute scrambling a bit easier. You've got this with early pay from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
This update sponsored by UW Credit Union. For every stage of life, UW Credit Union is here for every you.
Add a Jackson Churio jersey to your collection on June 7th when the Brewers give away 25,000 Churio replica jerseys at the game against the Padres, courtesy of Chevrolet. Don't miss this one. Get tickets now at brewers.com/giveaways.
Join UW Credit Union at uwcu.org, insured by NCUA.
Jim Rutledge here from Jim, Matt, and Molly. Join myself alongside Molly Brown and Olympic gold medalist Matt Hamilton in Cottage Grove at Oakstone Recreational on Friday, May 30th. We'll do a live show of Jim, Matt, and Molly, and then we'll do a watch-along on the ESPN Madison YouTube as the Brewers take on the Phillies. ESPN Madison is your home for Brewers baseball in Madison and the home of Jim, Matt, and Molly, weekdays 4 to 6. Join us live on YouTube and in person from Oakstone Recreational for Brewers vs. Phillies on Friday, May 30th.
At Metro Ford of Madison, they sell vehicles that are built in America for America. This month, enjoy their You Pay What We Pay sale. The 2024 Ford Mach-E offers 0% APR financing for 72 months. $13.89 cost per $1,000 borrowed. The 2024 Ford F-150 is available with 2.9% APR financing for 66 months. $16.47 per $1,000 borrowed. Bonus cash available on XLT and SXT models. All offers available to qualified credit. Browse their inventory at MetroFordofMadison.com.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
to you live from the Everlight Solar Studio. I'm Jim Rutledge alongside Molly Brown and Matt Hamilton. Primetime Laura Shine behind the glass. You can get into the show on the Carbos Talking text line 844-770-3776. Less is more. We do have a Siding Unlimited poll question, and we are asking you what has you most excited for this upcoming Packers season. Right now, Jordan Love, year 3, is in the lead at 46%, followed by Golden and Halfley tied at year 2 of Jeff Halfley as D coordinator, year 1 of Matthew Golden. 7% of people not excited for anything. So there's that. You can see us on ESPN Madison, nothing at all. And maybe we should go see someone about that then. And then ESPN Madison YouTube stream, you can see us on that, and you can stream us on the ESPN Wisconsin app. We're going to throw some stones.
1, 2, 3,
Some takes are cooler than others.
You know this kid is as cool as the other side of the pillow.
Some opinions are just cooler than the rest.
Now what's cooler than being cool? Ice cold.
And if you keep it chill, then it's a cold take.
Chill out. I'm chill. I'm chill as a cucumber, man.
I'm always the coldest.
This is Throwing Stones, presented by Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's chillest Kia dealership.
I'm actually going to throw a quick curveball at Ryan right now. So initially, when the day started, I wanted to talk to KBN about or talk about their take on the Badger football team, the group think that they're all out on the Badgers. And I have a pretty easy take on that, and I did talk about it with Adam Rittenberg and Rob Wheelwright on the Jump Around, our Badger dedicated podcast that airs every Thursday at 12:30, and you can stream it on the ESPN Wisconsin app and on the ESPN Madison YouTube. So Ryan's ready, has that audio ready. So we can talk about that. Or, well, if we don't talk about it now, we'll talk about it next segment. Or we can talk about Sydney Sweeney selling you her used bathwater in soap.
Spicy.
Ryan, which one do you want to talk about?
Is it spicy, Ryan? Do you think it's a spicy soap?
Why don't you tell us about it, Jim?
That's it.
What do you think?
I can tell you about it. I got it pulled up.
Tell us about it.
Matt's
give
got
us a 411.
He's got the soap pulled up.
Oh.
Yeah. So
it's not a work computer, in case you're wondering.
Dr. Squatch, fun brand. They obviously have leaned into their target demographic is males, by them buying the soap. So they use Sydney Sweeney as a campaign partner.
I would say
endorser.
And basically, the commercial is her in a bathtub, and people were requesting to Dr. Squatch that they want the bathwater that Sydney Sweeney was in. So Dr. Squatch, being the fun brand that they are, decided to make a limited edition 5,000 bars of soap that are made from Sydney Sweeney's bathwater. And there's like a certificate of authenticity that comes with this. So like
it's actually made from her bathwater?
Yeah.
I thought it was a joke.
Apparently, no. There's only 5,000 of them being made.
So, if you're looking
Give
for
the people what they want, is what Dr. Squatch says.
Gifts for the men in your life, well,
how serious do you think the certificate of authenticity is?
If there's only 5,000,
I don't know.
You could just slap a label on there and just say.
But right, like
authentic.
Soap takes
Sydney
water to
Sweeney.
make. Like, why wouldn't they just do it?
Because that would probably be how much do you think you'd have to pay Sydney Sweeney to do that?
I mean, I think she's getting paid a lot.
Yeah. I think she's.
And I think she's probably okay with it. I would
Also,
easily sell my bathwater. I mean, nobody wants it, but and I could not tell you the last time.
844-770. Molly can just
nope.
My Venmo.
We're giving away a case of Molly bathwater. Call her 1,000.
Dump out the High Life and pour some.
Yeah. And, never mind. I was going to make a joke, and I'm just not going to go there.
Thank you.
You can Venmo me.
You can Venmo Molly direct. This is hilarious. There's no one's like a loser in this. The people that want it actually want it, or they want to
buy it are losers.
Well, they're losers, but they feel like winners. They got the soap they want.
I mean, if they're buying it for
everyone's getting what they want. Sydney Sweeney's getting paid, getting more popularity. Dr. Squatch is trending on Twitter because of this, and the people that want to buy this soap are going to get some weird used bath soap.
I would think most people are buying it is for the novelty of it.
Yeah.
Of like
the same reason people were buying the Tejas hats.
Yes. Same idea.
Tejas.
Okay.
Yes.
No, I don't know if you could. Okay.
Well, you didn't say it the first time. You purposely said it wrong the first time.
Who did?
I did.
Yeah, he did.
I know, but then Ryan said it.
What?
Yeah, Ryan corrected me.
What?
Metro Kia of Madison.
Oi.
That was AI who said that, Molly.
Oh, okay.
So, Is that if you were going to buy soap, bathwater infused soap? Is that your go-to? That was the question I was going to ask.
I definitely have Dr. Squatch at home.
No, not the brand. Who's bathwater?
I mean,
Matt, there's only one answer.
I mean, as far as if I'm gonna have someone's used bathwater soap, Cindy Sweeney would be pretty high on the list.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
To be fair.
Well, okay, well, hold on. Matt, is she higher or lower than your wife?
He lives with his wife. He can have her bathwater whenever.
Free.
He can share a bath with her. They can make their own
He
bathwater.
could drink her bathwater if you want.
But Ryan, the
He
answer
could
is
bathe
obviously my wife.
He could
obviously.
He could bathe in his wife's bathwater if he wanted to.
Yeah, I don't need to turn it into soap.
That is being conscientious of the environment. I appreciate that.
It's called love, Ryan.
Oh my God, you guys! Do you know what it smells like? I can't say it on the air, but you have to look.
What? What can't you say on the air that it smells like?
I am not saying this because Ryan will get mad at me.
All right,
Morning blank.
Do?
What goes into a fight?
Yeah. Lumberjacks, cut this down.
What's wrong with some timber?
You see, you're afraid to say it too.
Ryan, can we say it? No, I'm not going to.
You can say timber, but not next to the...
it smells like morning timber? Is that what you said?
Basically.
Yes.
What does that smell like?
Evergreen. It smells evergreen.
I imagine, like, what's that called? Like cedar? Like...
Cedar?
Yeah, cedar.
No, like, what's that scent? You know what I mean?
Sandalwood?
Yeah, like, that's what I think it's like that, but morning.
So, Molly, I love the smell of timber in the morning. Is that the famous line from Apocalypse Now? Molly, your bathwater?
I mean, we talked about him yesterday. No, that's gross. That's gross.
Honestly, if I were you, I might take Cindy Sweeney too. Like,
I would probably take her over, like, the male athletes I was talking about yesterday.
Right? After a game, here's my bathwater.
Give me that Justin Jefferson bathwater.
It's just gross.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like Cindy Sweeney's a little crossover appeal.
Yeah, maybe.
She's very pretty. I like her. I like her in movies I've
you
seen.
make a vote here? Put you on the spot, too?
He's busy looking up Dr. Squatch right now. What does
How can I
morning
enter?
timber smell like? Don't Google that.
She's a great actress. Really good. Really appreciate
What's
her
your
work.
favorite movie of hers?
I love her in Euphoria. It's a great show.
Okay. I haven't seen Euphoria.
I didn't watch Euphoria. I watched a little bit, and I said
It's a heavy show.
Well, the heaviness, I was like, I can't. These kids are too close to my oldest daughter's age. I'm like, I'm out. So my wife watched it. I was like, I feel uncomfortable watching it.
I would, yeah. As an adult, as a parent, I would too.
Go be a winner. Go to Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. Millions of dollars are won every single weekend at Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. Go be a winner. Go to Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Madison on YouTube.
Hey, it's Molly Brown from Jim, Matt, and Molly. I've been drinking ZOA Energy for a while now, and I absolutely love it. ZOA is my go-to beverage when I need a boost without the crash that comes with other energy drinks. It's packed with natural ingredients like vitamin B and C, electrolytes, and has zero sugar. It fuels my workouts and busy days. I recently had twins, and I have a toddler, so I need all of the energy I can get. Head over to ZOAEnergy.com to find the location nearest to you to pick up some ZOA for yourself. ZOA Energy for balance and drive.
This is a test. This station is conducting a test of the emergency alert system. This station has conducted a test of the emergency alert system.
I knew that we were going to be getting engaged soon and needed to do some ring shopping. Heard the radio ads of Chalmers and decided, hey, we should give it a shot at Chalmers.
They were just awesome at accepting us through the door and understanding what she wanted in terms of how she wanted it, and they delivered.
Everybody always is telling me how sparkly my ring is. They tell me that they really like the style of the ring and the setting that it's in. I am ecstatic with it.
Thank you, Chalmers.
The greatest show on dirt is charging through Wisconsin. Saturday, June 7th, the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Cars invade Beaver Dam Raceway's grand finale for the Jim J.B. Boyd Memorial, presented by O'Reilly Auto Parts. Then it's a Sunday special on June 8th when the Outlaws race to Angel Park for the first time since 2016. Gates open at 4 p.m. Tickets at slspromotions.com. Be there.
After a storm, even seemingly small damage can lead to major problems. If your roof or siding took a hit with this recent storm, your insurance may cover the damage, but the process is still a nightmare. Badgerland Exteriors makes it seamless. They'll guide you through every step and get your family's home back in tip-top shape just as fast as that storm ripped through.
Contracting made easy is more than a tagline. It's how we run our family business. Visit BadgerlandExteriors.com to get started on your next project. That's BadgerlandExteriors.com.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too. And that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
This is a test. This station is conducting a test of the emergency alert system. This station has conducted a test of the emergency alert system.
Hey, this is Jeff Levering with the Brewers Radio Network, and I've got a question for you. Is your home ready to shine this season? Whether it's roofing, siding, or windows, Ridgetop Exteriors is the name you can trust. For over 20 years, Ridgetop Exteriors has been Wisconsin's favorite for roofing, and they bring that same expertise to siding and windows. Imagine vibrant, low-maintenance siding and energy-efficient windows that brighten your home while cutting energy costs. Ridgetop Exteriors holds all expert-level installation credentials with the leading manufacturers, including Pella, James Hardy Fiber Cement Siding, and LP Smart Side Engineered Wood Siding. With thousands of 5-star reviews and a commitment to excellence, they're the clear choice for home improvement needs. Plus, consultations and estimates are always free, so there's no reason to wait. Call Ridgetop Exteriors today or visit ridgetopexteriors.com to schedule your free consultation. Ridgetop Exteriors, putting customers first every time.
Ridgetop Exteriors is the place for you.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions.
Jim, Matt, and Molly continues live from the Everlight Solar Studio. We are presented by Coors Light. Matt Hamilton, Molly Brown, Jim Rutledge with you in the Everlight Solar Studio. Primetime more shine behind the glass. I want to get to this because we spent a lot of time talking about Sydney Sweeney's bathwater last segment.
Do you want to keep talking about it?
No, I want to get to KBN.
Oh.
A little bit of groupthink because they've all come out with the take, whether it's Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, Alex Strofe, or Brad Nortman, that the Badgers are on the brink of extinction. Let's hear the clip.
Wisconsin Badgers, here's what I fear. If and when the Badgers fall below that, they don't become bowl eligible, and if they win 5 or less games, I think the support for this team and this organization and coach, it will start to cycle into a spiral that you can't get out of. Because I've already talked to committed Badger fans that said, I might not renew my season tickets. I might not give. I might not contribute to the NIL because I don't believe in the direction of this program, and I'm so distraught over what I see on the field. And then the money dries up, and it gets even worse. So you're looking at a program this year that if you do get 5 wins or loss, there might be no coming back from it. It might be irreparable if you do struggle to have any sort of relevancy and any sort of success this year. That is what I fear for the Wisconsin Badger football team.
Beyond repair is insane. Worst case, now it could be beyond repair with Luke Fickell, which means you fire him, people get excited, and then people spend money again. So it's a little dramatic on like the Badgers program just shutter the doors if they win 5 games this year. Barry Alvarez came here and he lifted up a dead program and he did a great job. Then he had some down years as far as Badgers, like 8, 7, 8, like in there, missed some bowl or didn't win some bowl games, missed a bowl game in that window. The last coach to miss a bowl game for the Badgers was Barry Alvarez. And then you had Brett Bielema took over a program that was cooking, handed off to Gary Anderson. I don't know, he didn't do much with it. He was not here very long, and then handed the program off to Paul Christ. The program was cooking. So then Jim Leonard takes over the program. The last coach, Jim Leonard takes over for Paul Christ and then for the fired Paul Christ. But the last coach who took over for a fired coach at Wisconsin was Barry Alvarez. So Luke Fickell takes over a program that was so bad they had to fire their coach. I think his cardinal sins, he's not a Badger. people think he took the job from Jim Leonard, but I don't think Jim Leonard was even a top 3 option. And then you will have this. He brought in Phil Longo, ran an offense people didn't like, and then he didn't get off to a hot start. Now, the Phil Longo thing is his fault. The rest of it, impossible schedule, maybe you didn't have good players. And for me, he doesn't have to turn it around, but 6-7 wins, it's turned around. I think people are out on Luke Fickell because he's not a Badger.
Yeah, and I'm not blaming him. Just if his offense worked out, it would have been great. Everyone would have loved it.
Yep.
So the fact that it didn't is the reason that people are like, oh, I hate that he brought this new offense.
He's owning it. He fired the guy.
I just think the NIL thing that Brad brought up is funny because it's like the only thing that might make your team better is NIL money.
Yeah.
So like if you're a true Badger fan that can contribute in that capacity, keep donating your money.
Yeah.
Yes. I think 7 wins for the Badger football program. That's the hill I'm going to die on. This has been Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
See?
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and